Jack here, JBF Music and Guitar Lessons, back with some more guitar goodness for you, specifically these patterns. In this quick guitar tricks, we're looking at combining economy picking, or at least a technique which favours downward pick slanting to be more accurate, with some legato. Economy picking has never felt too natural to me, but off the back of this Rick Graham and Kiko Loureiro warm-up tip, you can get in the eye up there, it's at least starting to become a little bit more natural. Tabs for this are up on my patreon.com/jbfmusic, and if you enjoy the content I put out, please don't forget to leave a like and a comment. And if you want to see more of this stuff, do the old subscribe and enable all notifications thing. I'm sure you know the drill by now. Anyway, by the end of this, you should have some new licks and hopefully a cool system for breezing through faster or perhaps more challenging passages. Alright, the trick is in the picking. You want to downward pick slant, more than that with the eye up there if you need it, and start on a downstroke. In fact, anytime we change strings, we're using a downstroke, indicated by those symbols, which look a bit like lowercase n's or tiny little bridges. So what we're doing is going down, up, down, then down again. So down, up, down, down. Then you're doing a hammer on and a pull off. Use this legato to hop back over behind the D string and make sure to keep this downward pick slant. Starting on a down again on this 8th fret, and alternate pick the next 4 notes. So down, up, down, up, down. Again, we'll sweep through to the next string with a down, this time followed by 2 hammer-ons. So to put that whole thing together, you've got a down, up, down, down, hammer-on, pull off, down, up, down, down again, hammer on, hammer on. And this first half of the bar encompasses our basic picking pattern. First off, just get a feel for this somewhat unintuitive picking pattern. You might find trying to play quickly, even if it's sloppy, making use of this downward pick slanting or upward escape strokes, if you want to think of it that way, falls under the fingers a bit more readily. So don't be too concerned about timing and keeping it clean to begin with, just get a bit of a feel for it. In fact, it's entirely possible that you might already do stuff like this unconsciously when playing at high tempos. I certainly, when I've played Dave Murray style things, that embellished trill, if I'm doing that at speeds, I tend to sweep through these strings rather than alternate pick them. I'll give you a few seconds if you want to pause the video and give this a go. I would also suggest trying to pick as lightly as you can, more and dialing that in with the eye up there. If you're finding this useful and haven't yet subscribed, feel free to give that a click and do the old notification thing if you want to be in the loop about new content. Okay, so if that's sounding maybe not perfect, but like it's got the makings of something, then we'll have a look at the timing. As a side note, you can obviously do whatever you want in that regard, but just to clear this up because it is a little bit odd. We've got triplets, so say we're playing at this speed. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing is a 30-second note triplet. Very quick, this hammer on and pull off. We've got 2 30-second notes here, and then 2 6 of 16th note triplets again. One picked, and the second one kind of swept through and then hammered on. It breaks then into 2 sections that you can see with that overlay. This part, which will take up kind of half of the measure. So if I just take that and loop it, so these 30-second notes, they almost feel like the ones that aren't triplets, they almost feel like a kind of slurring or drying of the beat. The second half, being triplets, is much more straightforward. So if it's feeling a bit weird to just isolate the lick into the first half and the second half and then just combine them together. This lick is in G minor and we're just going up a 3 note per string scale using the same picking pattern. We resolve by bending up to the flat third, then letting it dip down to the second, for a very melancholic ending. As a side note, as well as keeping the picking relaxed, ideally you want to have the legato as tension free as possible as well. 6 tips on that with the eye up there. This is the same pattern that we just broke down, but going across the strings this way. Again, using 3 note per string scale patterns. This one is in C Lydian. Check the eye up there for some more Lydian shred patterns. Alright, we went up, we went across, so now let's combine them. In B minor here, ending on the 5th. Just to buck my trend of dissonant resolutions. Exact same picking as before. Changing things up with lick 4 just to give you some more ideas to play about with when developing this for use in your own style and your own patterns. And if you're still with me after this taxing picking workout, shout out to the Lick Squad Elite, you guys rock. Yeah, again, downward pick slanting, hitting every string change with a downstroke and using legato to allow those precious milliseconds to hop back over the string. Here we're going down, down, hammer on, pull off, back to the D string, where we're going down, pull off, And this concludes our pattern. So to recap, down, down, hammer, pull off, down, pull off. Same thing again. Down, down, hammer, pull off, down, pull off, and repeat. So with this kind of eco-legato playing, which I'm calling it because it's not really economy picking, it's not really legato, it's somewhere in the middle really, isn't it? Keeping relaxed is really crucial and key, so I'll put a little eye up there to what I think is the best warm-up tip I've encountered, and it really helps kind of, keep this hand relaxed and keep this one from doing excessive movement and excessive digging in as well. As much as I like to dig in and get a good sound, it doesn't work too well, for me anyway, for this style of playing. So you can loop that last lick for as long as you want to. It's in C sharp minor with no real modal distinction, so it'll work over Phrygian, Aeolian, Dorian, probably kind of a harmonic minor thing as well, so a lot of free reign there. In terms of the technique, you might want to just use your first and the third fingers. As you can tell from the way I played it, I get a bit more speed and a bit more accuracy using my little finger. And just to give you another example, you could take this through the pentatonics. You could take it onto these strings, onto these ones. I don't know if I managed this. A bit sloppy. It's almost there, but there's a lot of sounds to be had. I don't know why I've never tried this style of playing before. It's never really occurred to me though. I just sort of accidentally stumbled across it with a solo I was transcribing, which hopefully I'll have up in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I thought it was a really cool little trick. I thought I'd share it with you guys. So let me know if you found it useful or if this is something that everyone already does and I'm just really late to the party, which wouldn't surprise me. If you enjoyed this, you might also like that downward pick slanting lick and picking pattern. This has been Quick Guitar Tricks, that's the playlist there. But yeah, hit subscribe to keep up to date with the channel, leave me a comment, check out the tabs on my Patreon and enable all notifications by ringing that little bell on the side if you feel so inclined. Cheers guys.